Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this Christmas cracker. This is my last Christmas project for 2018 and today's the first time I've ever made Christmas crackers, and I haven't made a perfect one yet, so that's what I'm going to be doing now in the video. This one, what's wrong with this is that is the seam along there, which is why the pictures don't flow. That should be at the bottom so that it's more like that. Okay, so I won't make that mistake again. I made this one, and this bit I was particularly pleased with because that was from this sheet of designer series paper that had this all the way round, and I've cut it so that I've got a red line there and a red line there. I did try it with this one, but I cut too much off, so that wasn't very clever. Now if I try cutting that much off, it's going to be that much shorter. So that was that one, and this one, oh, also for this one I put the tape on the inside as well. So I just left the covering on it and put more tape on the outside. And then I did this one where I did all my score lines totally the wrong place. I had it vertical instead of horizontal. So, oh my gosh. But, you know, it's all part of the learning curve. Hopefully you learn by my mistakes. Right, okay, so the card pieces you're going to be needing. This is the one I'm going to be doing again because this is the last complete sheet that I had of this Santa's Workshop Designer Series paper, and I do know that it's no longer available. Now if you want to use Designer Series paper, make sure you use one of the thicker ones, not one of the really flimsy ones. This is, I would say, a medium one. It's not particularly thick, but it's a really nice thickness for this. It keeps its shape nicely. I did try one with cardstock. This was after the first video that I saw, and I made this a lot longer because I got a tube of sweets in there, but it still wasn't long enough, and that was 12 inches. So the only way I could do it is if I shortened these two, which would probably finish up looking even sillier than it does at the moment. But it was really hard work doing the envelope punch board with cardstock. So let me tell you the card pieces. The Designer Series paper, whichever one you decide to use, measures 7¼ inches by 11½ inches, which is 18.4 by 29.2 centimetres. You will need some garden green cardstock, and that is because I put at the end here the 2 green circles so that you can't see what's inside there. And also you need a circle for this one. On this, that's a 2-inch circle, the green, only for my project now I'm going to be trying this, see if this one fits on alright, just to add a little bit of a difference to it, a little bit of a change. So yes, a piece of garden green and also a piece of Whisper White cardstock just for this bit here. And this little fella, he came from, I think it was this sheet. I've only got scraps left now. I've used all of this. It was him there, but there was another bit where he was standing on his own, and that's where I cut him from. So I've already fussy cut that, ready for my project now. So what we're going to start with is we're going to do the scoring. So you can use either your scoreboard or your trimmer. As you know, I do prefer my scoreboard. So we're going to start on the portrait side, and I think I will just go over this. I do this automatically now. I don't know if the wax paper is needed on my when I'm using Designer Series paper, but I do know that it's better when I use it on my cardstock. Right, so on the 7 1/4 inch side, I'll give you the inches first, and then I'll go back and give you the centimetres. But all the measurements and the score lines will be in the box below the video for you. So 7 1/4 across there. Down here we're going to do 1 1/8. Now don't forget you are on paper here, so don't press too hard. So 1 1/8 inches, 2 1/4 inches, 3 3/8 inches, 4 1/2 inches, 5 5/8 inches, and 6 3/4 inches. So in centimetres, that is 2.9 centimetres, 5.8 centimetres, 8.7 centimetres, 11.6 centimetres, 14.5 centimetres, and 17.4 centimetres. Now if you turn that to landscape, and we are going to score, and again the first three I'll give in inches, and then I'll do centimetres, and then I'll do the inches over here, and then centimetres. So first of all, inches: 1 7/8 inches, 2 1/2 inches, and 3 1/8 inches, and that is 4.7 centimetres, 6.3 centimetres, and 7.9 centimetres. And then down this end, inches, you need 8 3/8, 9 inches, and 9 5/8 inches. And centimetres, that is 21.3 centimetres, 22.9 centimetres, and 24.5 centimetres. Okay, so that's all we need to do with the scoreboard. Using the designer series paper, I don't use my score, my bone folder on it. I think your finger is quite enough to put the pressure on. It will work beautifully. So if you fold on all the landscape score lines, just run your fingers, that will be fine. Right, there we go, so that's that way. I'm not going to fold on the portrait score lines at the moment. I'm going to get my envelope punch board, and what I found made my life a lot easier was I took a pencil and I took my ruler and I drew a pencil line down the middle score line there. So if you get your work as landscape, and you've got three score lines here, so you want the one in the middle, and draw a pencil line in the groove there, assuming you can find it. Oh, that's went off a bit, didn't it? See that one there? Let's just have a look. How far out was I there? Oh, spot on there. So the furthest one away from me, I get it right. The one close to me, I don't. Right. So I have to remember that that one there is the wrong one. Right, now let's do it down this one. So I've got my three score lines here, and I am going to draw a line right in the centre. Yep, I think it's gone off slightly, but I don't think that little bit's going to make any difference. That one was quite a big one. Right, so what we're going to do is, you want the side where you've got the inch fold, okay, not the 1/2 inch, that one. I'm going to start at the 1 inch. Am I still in? Nope. Right, that's better. In fact, it's better to have it closer to me, because then when I'm punching. Right, so what you need to do, where you have this pencil line, you need to line it up so that it is right in the centre of that gap there. Okay, you judge it. The thing is, if you are a little bit out in your positioning, as long as you're out that same amount all the way down, it's going to be fine. Mine's going to be a little bit confusing because I've got 2 lines going down there. Right, okay. So that's, to me, in the middle. So that's 1. And you take that out and fold that back. And then you put that back in again. Line your pencil line up in the centre. Make sure this is up against the edge and that one. Now when you get to these double ones, you may need 2 hands. Now open that one up and fold that down, so you've still got just 2 sides here. Put that in the centre and line up your pencil, line up the centre there with your pencil mark. Okay, so move that one down, put that in, line your pencil mark up again. There we go. Go to the next line, pop that in the centre, making sure that you're lined up and lined up. Now when I've done like 4 or 5, I like to move that out of the way because it starts clogging up. Okay, so there's that one. Got this one, line that up in the centre. That one, and then you've got the 1/2 inch, pop that in, line it up in the centre there, and you go like that. Okay, so you finished up with, let's see, oh there we go, that's much better. Okay, so you got 1/2 on the edge there, but on the 1/2 inch side, that one there, you've got a complete one because it's going over the actual fold marks. So what we need to do for the next one, I find it less confusing if I just slide my work along. The alternative is you could turn it around like that and start cutting again, but then you've got to remember that that's a 1/2 inch bit there, so you've got to start off like that, I think. Yeah, you'd have to start off with it folded. But I'm confused of Coulsdon, so I find out the easy way of doing it and stick to it. Right, okay, so I'm lining up my pencil mark again with the centre. That's an easy one. Take it out, fold it in half, or fold it back rather. Pop it in, so my pencil mark is in the centre. Make sure that's lined up, and press. So unfold that one, fold that, pop that in the centre. That's it. Open that, fold it on the next fold. There we go, pull it out. Let's just clear that underneath. Open that. No, we're doing the other end, won't we? That's right. So fold it on the next one. Line the pencil mark up. unfold that one, fold on the next one, in the centre, that's nice and tight up against the edge, and then finally the little 1/2 inch. There we go. Let's move that out of the way. We don't need our punch board. Right, the gap between this one is a lot bigger than what I had on this one here. That because these are like this was 1 inch wide, these are 1 1/8, therefore that is that much bigger. So I will be cutting that back a bit. Now I'm going to fold on my portrait lines, and I need the, that's right, I need the outside design to come back on itself, so the inside design goes inside the fold. I've been trying to work out how I was going to describe that. As you can tell, I didn't come up with a sensible idea. So that one folds back as well. And then turn it over, because along here we need to fold it the other way. Now this one I do use my bone folder, because this is the bit that will break when you actually pull your cracker. So you really want to weaken the fibres a bit there. But you can see how this is going to be working. Okay. So this one, with the wrong side facing up, fold over on your score line, and then fold over on your other score line. Then turn it the other direction so you've got the right side facing up, and then fold it that way. Yep, that's it. And then use your bone folder on these little bits. When the cracker all goes together, you're not going to be seeing those pencil marks, so I'm not going to worry about rubbing them out. One of the videos I saw today was Mixed Crafts, and she showed how to cut these smaller, and I'm not quite sure exactly how she did it, but she made sure that this line across here was a lot shorter than this bit is. So what I do is I come in probably about 1/16 of an inch, but then just go to where the top of that curve is. It's not so easy to see it on this one. It's a lot easier to see it on the inside one. Okay, so I'm going to start about there. Can you see that? Yep, I think so. And then I'm going to cut to that point there. Okay, so in about 1/16 of an inch, and aim straight for that point. Okay, so you'll see how much smaller that is now against that one. And I'm going to do all the sides like that. As long as you don't cut the actual, as long as you don't actually break the join there, it doesn't matter how close you go. Obviously if you go too close it's going to weaken it so much that it might break on its own, which you don't want. But then you don't want it so big that it's going to be difficult to actually pull the cracker. Right, now this one, be very careful. In fact, you might decide not to do that end. It is very narrow anyway. Okay. So now you've just got the diamonds there. You lose the shape, but that will make sure that it's nice and easy to break as whoever is pulling the cracker pulls. So I'm going to do the other end now. Right, now that I've got to this very, very small one, go very carefully. There we go. Let's turn it over that way, you can see it a lot easier. Right, so what we need to do next is put some tape on the 1/2 inch side, and it's got to be on the outside, not the inside. So I'm using our turn tape, and I am going to put on the long piece here, I'm doing it from that fold. Sorry, that went fuzzy. So from that fold there, along the straight line up to that fold. I'm going to be about a 1/16 of an inch away from that actual score line, just in case this doesn't line up perfectly when I fold it over. And then I'm going to do a piece on this score line up to that fold. Okay, so it'll be about a 1/16 of an inch away from the actual fold. And I'm confident that this tear and tape will be strong enough for this, because it is paper, it's not cardstock. There we go. So to adhere these together, the different videos I saw, some recommended that you filled them up before you stuck this bit down. What I'm putting in mine are 2 of these little bags of sweets, and they are a bit of an effort to get in once I've done it up, but it is so easy to close this without anything in there. That's the route I'm going. Here's my paper piercer. Let's take the backing off there, and I only do the centerpiece on its own first of all, and then I'll do that side, and then I'll do that side. Okay, so once you've taken the backing off of that one, just fold your cracker over to meet like that, and there's a little gap there on the fold mark, which is why I didn't want my glue to the tape to go too close to the edge. You see the edge of the paper and where my score line is. Okay, so if I'd put my tape right at the edge there, it would be all sticky here now. Right, now this one, I'm just going to keep this piece out of the way while I take the backing off, and then just hold that down. And then this end, take this piece off. And then let that go down as well. So now we have our cracker. Isn't that clever? It's just so easy. The envelope punch board is just so versatile. It does so much more than just envelopes. Right, so now I'm going to try and get these in. There we go. That wasn't too bad. Next I'm going to tie my ribbons, and I am using a retired garden green ribbon. Get my ribbon scissors. And just make sure, where's my seam? Okay, so that's a seam. I want that at the bottom. I've put those sweets in sideways, haven't I? Let's see if I can twist them round. Oh, that's better. Right, so I'm pulling it so that I get the proper cracker shape there. Am I on the screen? Yep. And then tie a bow. There we go. Let's try putting that one down. Let's try that again. Oh, I can see. I'm going to start that again. That's not nice. Let's try. I'm not quite sure what I did there. Oh, that's it. Just like the tails to come downwards rather than going up. Well, alright, you want to go up. I'm not going to argue with you. At least it's a reasonable bow. I'll leave quite a long bit on there so that if I find it irritating and want to redo it later, I can. Oh no, first time I've done that. Oh, good. First time I've done that. Right, now bearing in mind that's where the bow is, that's where my second one's got to go. I don't think I've chosen particularly well for what I've put inside my crackers here. I have to say. I would certainly be a little bit more selective next time. I would go for something a lot softer and a lot easier to manipulate. Right, you're going to do the same again, aren't you? One up, one down. I don't know, 2 down. Well, that's all right. Turn it around the right way. So there we go. Where's the seam? There we go. Seam at the bottom, that's good. Tape is on the right side, nothing showing there. Now what I do at the end here, you see that there's the hole there. I mean, my bags aren't going to fall out of there. If you've got anything small in there, you could wrap them up in tissue and then wrap them, but that would have to be done before you seal your box. Now what I need is two 2-inch circles. So that's 1, 2. So for this, it just needs to be popped into the end there. Okay, and that looks a lot nicer, all nice and tidy. And then 1 into that end. There we go. So that's nice and tidy as well. One of the girls in one of the videos, she actually had a hexagon punch, which punched that shape out. Right, now I need to do the sentiment. So that's my Whisper White, that's my stamp, and that's my Garden Green ink. I'm just going to put this into the corner. That's it. And what size did I use for this? It wasn't that one. What's this one? 1 3/4. And I said I wanted to try this, didn't I? Got that, or I've got that. That hasn't punched out at all nicely, has it? That is atrocious. Let's try that again. Two inches. That one, 1 3/4. Right, let's see if we can do it nicely this time. I mean, that time was perfect. That was much better. Right, so what do we prefer? That one or that one? I think I'm going to have that one. I just need Tombow. I'm not sure. Oh, Starburst, I think this punch is. This one's from Santa. It's quite nice, isn't it? And this is my little Fussy Cut Elf. And I'm just going to put some Tombow on the top because his legs will be dangling off. Get my tweezers. Try and get this straight. And then I just put some glue on the back here. Just make sure I get that straight. As long as the from is okay, then I'm happy. There we go. So what's that look like? Is it better with the sunburst on it? Or is it better with the rounded one? Actually, that's really quite easy to compare, isn't it? Because it's the same of everything, same paper and all of that. Well, there we go. As I say, really, really easy project, this one. I'll bring the other designs in. Can I get 4 into the screen? Oh, maybe. Let's try doing it the right way. Try not to look at all the score lines on that one though. So there we go. Many thanks for joining me today. Hope you give this one a try. Really very, very easy. It would look great on the table, really, dinner table. If you have any questions, please leave them in the box below the video. I'm always happy to help and I always read your feedback. If you'd like to purchase any of the products that I featured here, except for this Designer Series paper, that's no longer available. I believe it is all sold out now. But any decent quality, or like not decent quality, decent thickness of DSP will work brilliantly for this. And if you have, oh sorry, I'll put a link to my 24/7 shop in the box below. If you've enjoyed my video and like to be notified each time I upload a new one, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click onto the bell to say that you'd like notifications as well. So this is my last video before Christmas. I would like to wish you all a very, very blessed Christmas and also wish you all a very healthy, happy 2019. And look forward to you joining me again with lots more videos. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.